Lincoln Riley is now at USC. He has left Oklahoma. Was this a good move? I don't know. He's going to be in his first season at the Trojans and in the Pac 12 this upcoming year in 2022. I think only time will tell, but ultimately, we got to look at how he's recruiting. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard here, Ballard Sports Media, coming at you with a quick video today looking at Lincoln Riley and USC. Great recruiting so far. Is this the guy to put USC back on top of college football? I know that's kind of weird to say, but think about it. USC is not a bad program. In fact, that is one of the biggest hot spots in college football for recruiting in the state of California, for ultimately just going to be a head coach. You know, you want to be a head coach at a big time program. You want to go to Alabama. You want to go to a place like Clemson. You want to go to Georgia. You want to go to historically good programs like a USC. But it's been quite some time since they've been on top, right? The last title they had was the 2004 season, right? That season. Of course, the Rose Bowl the year after Texas upset the Trojans. They were supposed to win that game, but Vince Young, we know all that. But looking at just USC real quick, 2004, they blow Oklahoma out of the water. Historically good defense, great game. Back when they were in the Pac-10 at the time, I had to catch myself. They win 55-19 over Oklahoma, who, by the way, was at the Big 12. That was in the 2005 Orange Bowl, played in Miami, Florida. That's the last time USC's been on top. The last time they've actually made a title, of course, was the year after, and Texas was not supposed to, but they did end up winning the 2006 Rose Bowl for the 05 season, and they did ultimately beat USC, right? But forget about the past for a second. Let's look at the future, right? What is it that USC fans want? First off, I've never met a USC fan in my life. I've never heard from them. I'm assuming they're great people. But forget about that for a second. What does USC need? Forget what they want. Everybody wants the big golden crown. Should USC be looking to consistently make the Pac-12 and win the Pac-12 South? Should that be their focus right now? Or should it be winning 10 games, making and winning New Year's Six Bowls? Should they look to be that Pac-12 team winning the Rose Bowl every year? Or should Lincoln Riley, because of who he is as a coach, because of what he's done with Oklahoma, right? And I remind you, he did not get fired. He left. He took a job opportunity. And now Brent Venables, of course, the head coach at Oklahoma, the former Clemson defensive coordinator, who has had some historically good records on defense, is now at Oklahoma. Lincoln Riley is still young as a head coach. He did amazing at Oklahoma. The only thing you can say bad about him at Oklahoma was that he could not win a playoff game. That's it. I mean, he made the playoff like, what, 3 or 4 years in a row and lost every single game he was in. I think 3 straight years he made it. In 3 straight years, he lost the semifinal to an SEC team. You got the Rose Bowl. The next year, too, was the starter for Alabama for the first time after 2nd and 26. And then they meet up in the Rose Bowl with Oklahoma. Oklahoma lost. The next year was all about LSU. LSU beat Oklahoma, right? But Lincoln Riley, I don't even think he was an amazing recruiter and coach. He had everything other than he just didn't have enough defense. And when it came time to play the bigger teams in college football in the playoffs, he couldn't do that. Not saying that he can't do it himself, but maybe he does need a little bit more than what Norman, Oklahoma was giving him, right? And again, a fun note, real quick: 2004-2005 season was USC's last title, and again, they beat Oklahoma 55-14 there. But anyways, looking at the transfer portal and recruiting, but really the transfer portal, this is incredible. 12 incoming transfers for Lincoln Riley and USC. I think this is huge for him. Lincoln Riley is going to have an amazing season. He really is. Real quick, I'm going to share this with you and what is up and coming for the USC Trojans in the portal. They have lost some players. They have also gained some players. They picked up last year, and this a few weeks ago, Jackson Dart entering the transfer portal, leaving USC. Keaton Slovis has left. He is now with Pittsburgh. He was supposed to be a top quarterback in this year's upcoming draft, but obviously some things kind of happened with Clay Helton. Clay Helton, I don't think, was a good hire from the start. So USC fires him, gets rid of him. I don't even know who they fired Clay Helton, I think, halfway through this season. So they had an interim guy. I don't even remember who it was, honestly. But Lincoln Riley's the guy now. Keaton Slovis has transferred out. He's now with Pittsburgh. But, so here's what you have. Keaton Slovis is out. Jackson Dart is out, right? He's in the portal. 9 times out of 10, they're going to leave. Is it possible he takes his name out and says, you know what, I'll stay? It is a possibility, but I doubt it. But, big news. Because guess who's still in the portal? Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams replaces Spencer Rattler last season. Gets what Oklahoma needs offensively. Now, I think Caleb Williams leaving Oklahoma was not like that. That's one of those, because he knows who the next head coach is going to be. It had nothing to do with Lincoln Riley leaving. Well, actually, take that back. Yes, it did. Because there was obviously a connection between him and Lincoln Riley. There was something very special between the two of them. He looks up to Lincoln Riley as a mentor, and there are big-time rumors that he could be going to USC. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, think about it. You have, how do I put this? You have one quarterback leave a program. You have another in the portal, right? You have another guy enter the portal. So basically, within the past year, USC themselves has lost 2 quarterbacks. Jackson Dart's in the portal now, and Keaton Slovis went to Pittsburgh, right? By the way, Jackson Dart, there are huge conversations between Jackson Dart and apparently Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, who also has been rumored to be talking to currently in the transfer portal Georgia quarterback JT Daniels. But anyways, getting off topic here. So you have 2 guys out at quarterback for USC. They need a quarterback. Caleb Williams needs a home. Lincoln Riley has left Caleb Williams. I think the pieces fit together here, people. Caleb Williams most likely going to Southern Cal. Now, that's not a given. That's not a given. And again, let's look real quick at what they have coming in. I mean, this goes back all the way to, I guess, the past year. I don't know. We'll start here. Chase Locke has entered the portal. Chase Williams, Earl Barquette, a defensive line, and so on. Keaton Slovis entered the portal back in December on the 13th, and he transfers to Pitt. 4-star quarterback. Parker Lewis, a kicker. He's still in the portal. Liam Douglas. So many, and so on and so forth. Right? But who does USC bring in? Well, a 3-star receiver, Joseph Manjack. Immediate eligibility. He comes in from Houston. Or I'm sorry, he leaves for Houston. They brought in Brendan Rice from Colorado, who's a 4-star receiver. Mario Williams comes in from Oklahoma. Speaking of Lincoln Riley, hometown kid there from Plant City. Got a lot of friends and family where I'm from down there. Mario Williams goes from Oklahoma to USC. Tyrone Taleni is a defensive back from Kansas State. Mekhi Blackman is a corner from Colorado, and so on and so forth. And we know Jackson Dart's in the portal. Latrell McCutcheon is a corner on defense from OU to USC. So there's a couple guys in there. Notice a couple Oklahoma players following Lincoln Riley. Also picking up Romello Height, who's a linebacker from Auburn, going to USC, and Shane Lee, who's a 3-star recruit. He was never going to work out at Alabama. I remember seeing him play a little bit. I was never really impressed with him. But he's coming in from Alabama on defense. So who's the quarterback, though? Seriously, I mean, here's the thing. Caleb Williams has got to be it, right? Could he be going? That's a big possibility. Overall, here's what I want from you guys in the comments. I always ask, give me your thoughts on that. I want to hear from y'all what you think is going to happen with USC. Who do you think the quarterback's going to be? Where does Caleb Williams go? Is he the guy to go to USC? Right? A lot of people are rumoring that. And also, do you really buy into Lincoln Riley being the head coach here? Is he that guy that can fix the Pac-12, that can fix USC, that can put USC back on top of college football? Right? I mean, because he has yet to even win a playoff game. He's like 0-5 with Oklahoma. Maybe it's a matter of where he's coaching. And you also got to think, he's in a good position. This is you. He's going to Southern Cal. He's in the state of California where there's a lot of great talent, especially defensively, that he could work with. Now, again, he's an offensive and quarterback whisperer guru. He's like Bruce Arians, right? He works with quarterbacks. He works with leadership on offense. Defensively, I don't know. He kind of had it figured out. He kind of had some improvement the past couple of years with Oklahoma. But, it also was still kind of not good enough. But USC is historically good defensively. God, this is big because you got to work with defense in the Pac-12 just to kind of blend in with the Pac-12, really, because that's really, it's like the opposite of the Big 12, right? The Pac-12 and the Big 12 are kind of opposites. You got no defense, little to no defense, I'll say. I won't say there's not any completely, but it's like little to no defense in the Big 12. And it's a whole lot of great quarterback play, big shootout style games, offense. The Pac-12, you don't see a whole lot of that. You see hard-hitting players. You see guys being able to get stops on third down and big-time linebackers and key secondary players. Does Lincoln Riley need that in the Pac-12? I mean, if he wants to fit into the Pac-12, yeah, but overall – what does he need to put USC back on top? It starts, first off, he needs to start by consistently winning the Pac-12 South. He needs to consistently do that, then consistently win the Pac-12 and make it to the college football playoff, which, again, we're not going to get too far ahead of ourselves here. It's very... It's a head scratcher. This is all kind of, I'm trying to present this with you guys and everything, and I'm trying to think of exactly what I'm trying to get at and what I'm trying to say. But I think already he hasn't even coached one game yet. But at least with the talent that he has, I think Lincoln Riley's in a good position to win big time football at USC, right? But again, you got to go put it on the field and see what he does. I'm going by conference when I'm doing these schedule previews. I've yet to – I'm still working through the SEC for you. Overall, though, I will say, I guess I could go ahead and give you guys a little glimpse of what they have coming up. Like, do they start off pretty easy? Is it a favorable schedule? I would say so. I mean, they open up with Rice, which I think is a good school, but it's not Power Five. They open with Rice. They play Stanford on the road. They play Fresno State, at Oregon State, Arizona State, Washington State, at Utah. You get into the Pac 12 play, that's really the big question. The non con schedule outside of Notre Dame on rivalry weekend, I think it's pretty favorable. Rice and Fresno State. That's it. Outside of that, we'll see how he does in Pac 12 games. But overall, I would say, like the title says, Lincoln Riley is on track to put USC back into a prime position in college football. But again, it always starts with winning your conference, let alone win your division. I think USC can. They got the formula. They got the talent. They just need that right coach. Clay Helton wasn't it. Clay Helton didn't care. He wasn't good enough to be there. Now you got Lincoln Riley. This guy has won some big-time games at Oklahoma, right? He failed to win a playoff game, but he still won bowl games. The one last year, he blew out Florida in the Cotton Bowl. Overall, I think he's in a good position, right? It's incredible. It's incredible. And also, not to look too far ahead, but if you look at his 2023 class for next year, 4 commitments are already in. And 3 out of 4 of those guys are 5-star recruits. Let me pull this up for you. I might have already shared this with you guys in here. But overall, his recruiting is on track. He's got a 5-star quarterback from California, 6'3", 180, Malachi Nelson. I'll have to go check out some of these guys' highlights. Mekhi Lemon is an athlete, which I think that's defensive back. I don't know why they don't just put DB or whatever. But he's 5-star out of California. He's got Zachariah Branch, who's a 5-star wide receiver, and Johnny Thompson, clever name there, he's a 3-star running back. But it's still it's still on track and really good going forward to see where he's going with this. You're talking 2023. We're in 2022 right now. We're looking at next year. But again, right now, Damani Jackson is signed, a 5-star. Raleek Brown is a running back, 5-star, signed. All these guys have signed. C.J. Williams from Mater Dei, home of where Bryce Young is. He's a 4-star receiver. Zion Branch is a safety, and so on and so forth. There's a lot. And again, I mentioned all these transfers. Travis Dye, Austin Jones is a running back. Shane Lee, I think, is going to be a good pickup for him. Mekhi Blackman, Mario Williams is coming over. All of these guys here. Basically, the bottom line is this, and I'll get out of here. USC is on track to be back on top of college football. It's going to take a few years. It's not an automatic. I don't think that they're going to – they could have an LSU type of year, not next year, but maybe in a couple years. Do they have that Cinderella, this is meant for us to win it all type of season? It's possible, but I'll slow my roll. But I will say that I do think USC is on good track, and I think Lincoln Riley was the right hire. He had to take a job opportunity, right? He wanted to, and he goes to California, and he's doing great so far. I think, I was kind of skeptical of it. I'm like, should he really be leaving Norman, Oklahoma right now? There were a lot of rumors that he was even going to go to the Cowboys, like I mentioned earlier. There was writing on the wall that at some point, not that they were going to fire him, but he did not want to be at Oklahoma long term. And clearly that's the case. And Brent Venables is taking over there. But USC and the Pac-12, this could get interesting. Is USC fixing to be back? I'm going to slow my roll and say, slow your roll. But you guys let me know in the comments below what you think of his recruiting, what you think of the Lincoln Riley hire, and ultimately, how do you think Lincoln Riley's going to do at USC? We'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in and watching today. Please like, comment, and subscribe right here to Ballard Sports Media for more sports content. And until next time, folks, Ballard Sports Media, checking out. Love y'all. Jesus loves you. God bless. And roll tide.